Hey everybody, this is Pastor Shane Pooler with your Monday Morning Moment. I wanted to share with you a thought here today from a message that I preached on Sunday entitled Allergic to Failure. Allergic to failure. Michael Jordan once said, I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. He said, I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I cannot accept not trying again. I think the important aspect of what Michael Jordan was trying to convey to us was that everybody is going to fall short. I mean, obviously, he was a great basketball player, a Hall of Famer, all of those things, but when he shifted over to baseball, he was mediocre at best. He was a minor league player. It never translated across. It never transferred. His skills in basketball never transferred to having the same type of skills in baseball. There are things that we all do. Some of us are good at doing certain things. Some of us are musicians or singers or mathematicians or people have the ability to paint and they're artistic. And then there are others that can't do any of those things, but they're skilled in other areas. One thing that we find out is that just because a man is a surgeon doesn't mean that he can give you stock tips. It doesn't mean that he necessarily understands the financial world just because he can operate on a brain. Spiritually speaking, the Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under the heavens. This means that time and purpose are linked together. God has established that. He gives us time and he extends our days that we may accomplish the purpose that he has given to us. Now, we don't know how many days that we have. Our days are numbered, and even the psalmist David in Psalms 39:4, he inquires of the Lord and he asks God to give him the knowledge and the ability to know how to measure his days, in other words, count his days. We do this by calendars, and we do this by our smartphones. We have alarms, and we have buzzers, and we have all of those things that help us keep on track and help us stay focused in the things that we need to accomplish, whatever schedule that you may be trying to keep. For us to be able to accomplish the things God wants us to, that means that we have to be active in pursuit. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to be successful all the time. Oftentimes in ministry, unfortunately, people gauge success and failure on a number system. A pastor is successful if he's running over 100 people, or if he's running 200 people. But if he's running 50 people, people will look at him. Oftentimes he's judged as not being as successful as someone that is pastoring 200 or 300 people. But I don't know that that is legitimate. I don't know that we can identify success and failure based on just those things. What if that pastor that is pastoring 25 people is impacting those 25 people and they are reaching others? What if they are people that God has delivered out of darkness and out of terrible things and tragedies in their life? I would say that that would be a pretty successful pastor that is able to do those things. I think that when we talk about being allergic to failure, I think the mindset is we cannot be satisfied with falling short. I think we live in a society today where far too many are okay with mediocrity. People are okay with losing. There's no drive, it seems like, or very little pursuit to accomplish something. They're okay with just getting by. But I don't believe that that's the way the Lord wants us to be spiritually. I don't think he wants us to be those people that are just happy with yesterday's blessing. No, I think that we have to continually pursue. And when we fall short, instead of being okay with falling short, there should be something inside of us. The fighter has to rise up inside of us to pursue those things which are before us. See, that's what Joshua was. Joshua was a fighter. Joshua was not satisfied with seeing the promised land. He wanted to possess the promised land because that's what God told him he could do. When they failed Ai, he went on a pursuit to find out why. And when God told him that it was Achan and what Achan did, man alive, he didn't fool around. But the punishment was severe and swift. The next time that they went down to Ai, instead of taking 3,000 people, he took over 30,000. He was making a point, and that is fighters never give up. I believe that's what the Lord wants of us. I believe that he wants us to continue to fight. I think he wants us to continue to pursue him. And when there is opposition, opposition simply means opportunity. If we could get this in our heart and in our spirit, that when we face opposition, that it is really truly an opportunity to allow God to do great things through us, I think that will change our perspective about how we view opposition. Opposition will always be there. Fighters understand that. Fighters understand there will always be opposition. But my friends, I want you to understand today that when there is opposition, there is also opportunity. The greater the opposition, the greater the opportunity. The greater the opportunity for God to show himself mighty in your life. And that's what I want to encourage you about this week. I want you to know that no matter what you're facing, what obstacle you're facing, God is real and God is moving on your behalf. You may not understand it yet, you may not see it yet, but I want you to know that God is moving on your behalf. Don't worry about the opposition. It's the opportunity for God to show himself mighty in your life. Are you allergic to failure? I hope so, because failure is not an option. So my friends, I want you to have a blessed and a wonderful week. And remember, continue to keep the fight up. This is Pastor Shane Pooler from the Highway Church in Kennewick, Washington, with your Monday Morning Moment. Have a blessed week.